From City Hall, I am Councilwoman Nikki Nice, representing Ward 7, and today we're talking about art, one of my favorite subjects. And to talk more about that, we have Mrs. Robbie Kienzle, and she is the Arts Liaison from the Office of Arts and Cultural Affairs with the Planning Department.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for having me here today.
Well, I see you often talking about wonderful art and how it pertains to our great city. And I know a lot of people are paying attention to the murals and how now our city has become one of the top 10 cities for murals. And that comes through our art department.
It does. So a lot of our murals are funded privately, actually. So the Office of Arts and Cultural Affairs helps the private sector navigate code requirements. Every different mural that is painted by an artist has to be reviewed and permitted, like a sign would be, because there's different rules and restrictions on that. But then we also have our 1% for Art program at the city too, and some of those are sometimes commissioned for murals as well, whether it's general fund money, bond money, or even federal money sometimes can be used for that when it's granted to neighborhoods.
Okay. Well, walk us through what that looks like. And as you were talking about the permit process, it made me think of something that happened within Northeast Oklahoma City when we had the Nipsey Hussle mural that was painted on a building, and it hadn't been permitted first. So walk us through that process.
So the Nipsey Hussle mural is a great example.
It is a great piece, though.
So one of the things that has to happen first is every mural proposed has to go through a public meeting. So whether that's Arts Commission or Design Review, often the Design Review committees ask the Arts Commission to look at it first. So it goes on the docket. And what the Arts Commission is looking for is making sure that the artist has the ability to carry out the mural that they're proposing. So they want to see a rendering. They want to see all the different color variations of the mural. They ask things about materials. And what does the wall look like before the mural, to make sure that they're not painting over historic structure. You know, there's a lot of sensitivity. You can have a mural on a historic property, but it's really not good to paint directly on the brick if it's eligible for historic register, because that could damage its ability to do that later. So there's other ways to do it, though, with different kinds of materials bolted into the mortar joints or other things that we're investigating now, in fact. But you go through this design review. We're also asking about things like who's going to maintain the mural, what kind of materials are you using, because whether an artist is using a latex-based, water-based paint or a Montana spray paint, they all last different lengths of time. And depending on which, how the wall is facing the sun, they might bleach out in different times. So are you going to seal it with a weatherproof coating? Also, they're wanting to look at insurance. You know, is somebody going to insure the mural? Like, let's say a car runs into the wall, which we do have cars running into art every once in a while. You know, when the wall is replaced, will the mural be replaced? We're asking questions like that. So the Arts Commission provides a recommendation, and then it goes to a design review committee, and then the applicant can seek a permit. If it's not in a design review area, though, it just goes to Arts Commission for the recommendation and then straight on to permit. And then the artist can begin painting.
Awesome.
So in the Nipsey Hussle case, though, that was, you know, in response to a horrific tragedy. And all across the nation, artists were standing up and out of respect and wanting to recognize Nipsey Hussle, they were painting these murals of him all across the country. So of course, a local artist that wanted to do that found a wall, thought he had permission, and didn't have permission from the property owner. And also in Oklahoma City, when you paint a mural without a permit, it's considered graffiti. So immediately when code enforcement sees unpermitted murals, they'll go ahead and issue a code violation. And then it becomes the property owner's problem. So through all of that, I think I helped the artist go ahead and put together an application so we could make it legal. But I think in the end, the property owner decided that he wanted to do something else. And so the mural then was painted over so that the property owner wouldn't continue to receive violation notices.
Well, that's unfortunate. But for those artists who have a desire to be a part of the process when it comes to murals, there's a boot camp, and there's other ways. So will you talk about the boot camp?
So with the Oklahoma City 1% for Art ordinance that was approved by council in 2009, 1% of the budgeted construction costs for a building or a park goes to art. So a lot of times, either on the outside of the building or on the inside of buildings, like we're seeing in some of our wellness centers and also recreation centers with pools, murals, whether they're mosaic murals or painted murals, are a really big feature because they can really change a space. So when we put together our budget from the estimated construction cost, it's 1% of that. We're looking at does that amount of money available for the art, does it fall under $25,000 or does it fall above $25,000? If it's under $25,000, we can go directly to a pre-qualified pool of artists. And every year in the spring, we have a boot camp to try to reach out to new artists and help them understand what the process is and what happens if they did get contracted through the process, how they would compete for that. So we do that in May of every year. And then the submissions from those artists are due in June. And then there's professional art jurors that go through those and make a recommendation to the Arts Commission. And we just, in fact, published our latest pre-qualified pool just a few weeks ago. So I've been posting every day on social media. I use Instagram and Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And every day I'm featuring a different artist from the pre-qualified pool. So anybody that's interested in that can go to that link and read more about who's already in the pool. There's like 333 pages online, so it takes a little bit to pull up. But you can see at what great lengths we go to promote the artists in the pool. We have their personal contact information, so if anybody in the private sector wants to hire them, they can go directly to them. There's no reason to even call the city. But also at the city, when we have smaller projects, we can reach directly to the pool and ask them, are you interested in this? This would be the timeline, this is the type of project, and they can tell us yes or no, and then we can go straight to selection committee to get that project rolling. It actually saves us about 90 days in our process.
For those who are a part of the pool, how long does that last for
so
those members?
When you're in a specific category, and you can be in more than one category, but when you're in a specific category, you're there for 3 years.
Okay. So 3 years to the day, or 3 years?
Yes, to the day.
Okay, so that's something that we should be mindful of. Now, looking at social media, how can we find social media?
So on Facebook, it's under OKC Arts. And then also, there's another Facebook closed group that artists that are public art artists can join. You can just ask to join. And there are 5 different administrators that approve daily, but that's called the Oklahoma Public Art Network. So anyone can ask to join that. Even if you're just interested in public art and you want to know what artists receive, you can ask to be a member. I think there's 500 members now, so that's statewide. And then on Instagram, it's OKC Arts. On LinkedIn, it's under Robbie Kienzle, my name for the Arts Liaison, and I post daily as well. And then under Twitter, it's Robbie Kienzle or Urban Oracle.
Urban Oracle.
Yes.
Okay, good to know. Now, when we're talking about sites that represent community, what does that look like as far as for the 1% or for the artists in the artist pool?
So this is a really great question because I know it's one that we've talked together about a lot. You know, we have so many sites across our very large city that people use on a daily basis. And when they're eligible for 1% for art, we want to make sure that we're hiring artists who are delivering designs and important pieces of public art that reflect the community that use the site. You know, so I know in Ward 7, you're also always very mindful to that, and we are too in the Office of Arts and Cultural Affairs, but also looking at sites that might be used, say, for softball, or a site used for soccer. You know, we always put together a selection committee too that might represent specific interests in the use of the facility, because what we wouldn't want to do, or even rowing, you know, we wouldn't want to commission works of art that didn't reflect the stakeholders that use it on a regular basis. So we're really careful of that. On every selection committee, we also have a professional public art juror that helps guide the committee. We've now started asking our elected officials if they can also serve, and I know you all have very busy schedules, but every once in a while we're able to catch you for those. And then we're also asking other different leaders in City Hall, because we want everyone throughout the city to really understand how the public art selection process works, because you're all ambassadors. And I know you have several times, as you've seen artists in the community that you think are talented and hardworking, you've sent me their names, and I'm really appreciative of that. And I hope that everyone watching today too, as they see artists that they think, well, they need to be doing some art in our neighborhood, I would hope that they would have them call me at the Office of Arts and Cultural Affairs, or at least watch on social media for opportunities where they can either attend the boot camp or make their own submission, or if they just wanted to make an appointment and walk through what the processes are. We do that every day.
Well, I appreciate you for even being open to those suggestions, because I sent you one, and that young man now is learning the process, and hopefully he'll be able to be one of the top artists for an upcoming site. So looking at the upcoming sites, I know we have one that's happening in Ward 7 real soon that we're expecting, but what are some of those other places we can expect to see some art?
So we are right now working on the Jimmy Stewart Golf Course. We're working on a very early project that will be in the front of the facility itself, and it's going to be pretty striking because it's right near the front door. It helps solve a design problem that we have because of the site. And then we're also looking at the Douglas Rec Center, that we're hoping to do a participatory arts. This was at your request too. I know you were very interested in having some of the students at the high school next door that might be using that site on a regular basis participate in the art making with the artist that's commissioned to do that site. So we're putting that together now. Also, the site for Wellness Center 3 was just announced, so we'll be working on that soon. And then we have some other smaller park projects all through Ward 7.
And I do want to highlight one that we're waiting on right now. So that should just start popping up any day that we're expecting, and that's the one in
Yes, the Strong Neighborhood Initiative Project. So that's a really great one. So Culbertson East Highland was selected for a Strong Neighborhood Initiative grant. And as they were working with the neighborhood residents, they decided that one of the things that they wanted the most was a very large mural facing the neighborhood to show change. Change is coming. And so we went through a process where we commissioned an artist from the pre-qualified artist pool, local artist named Marcus Muse. And we went all the way through contracting on that, and because it's federal money, we had a little bit of slowdown on trying to get all of the notice to proceed, but we're hoping to have that this week and hope we can catch some sunlight and some over 50-degree temperatures so he can get that completed before the end of the calendar year. But we're very excited because it's a very different mural for our community, and I know we made some poster prints for it. We had to get permission on that site because it's not a city site and it's not a neighborhood-owned site. It's a housing authority owned site. And so we even took the design to the housing authority board and presented it to them and did a big reveal. And I know the chairman was just so thoughtful in his comments. He was really excited about it. And we had a resident of the housing center and their program manager there also serve on the board. Well, so everybody's very excited.
Right. We are excited about all the art coming to our city, especially Ward 7. So if anyone has any questions, what's the number for them to dial?
So they could dial 405-297-1740.
All right. So you know what to do. Call. And also we had all the social media sites. So that's going to do it for arts in Oklahoma City. I'm Councilwoman Nikki Nice from City Hall.